Good morning and welcome to the Community Council. I'm Dee Ferreira. For more information on today's topic, please visit this station's website. Well, today I think we're all going to get educated because I know nothing about Turner syndrome. So we have a couple of people here that are going to help us out and let us know what we can do to help the organization. We've got Rosemary Morris. I'm going to let her explain who she is coming up. But good morning, Rosemary. Nice to have you with us.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. And also in studio, we have Jacqueline Wooldridge. But let's start with Rosemary. Rosemary, what do you do? What is your title?
As of January 1st of 2017, I am the member at large representing women for 2017 to 2019 on the board of directors of the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States, located in Houston, Texas. Yeah, and I'm also the resource group leader presently throughout Northern California.
Okay, and you, Jacqueline?
I'm a member of the Northern and Central California Turner Syndrome Resource Network, and as of last year, I am the public relations coordinator for when we do events such as the Chasing Butterflies Walk.
Okay, well, it's nice to have you in the studio today. All right, Rosemary, I'm going to start with you. What is Turner syndrome?
Turner syndrome is a non-inherited chromosomal condition that occurs in approximately 1 in 2,000 live female births. Typically, an individual's cells contain 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs, which hold all the genes that tell the body how to function. One of these pairs, the sex chromosome, determines a person's gender. In other words, Turner syndrome results when one of these two female X chromosomes is completely or partially deleted. There are approximately 70,000 women, girls, and babies that are affected throughout the United States.
Okay, what are some of the more common characteristics of Turner syndrome, Jacqueline?
The most common characteristic is short stature. However, there are other characteristics that we know that are common throughout. One of the other most common is the possibility of infertility for 99.9% of women and girls who have Turner syndrome. Another frequent symptom or sign of Turner syndrome is webbed neck, where we have extra skin folds in the neck, as well as lymphedema, which is puffy hands and feet, where you get water stored in your skin, so your hands look more puffy. There's also pigmented nevi or moles. We typically have more of them than the normal person. But the biggest and most known sign is short stature. Typically, women with Turner syndrome are not diagnosed until mid-adolescence, about age 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. We're trying to get that down more. There are cases where girls are diagnosed while they're infants in utero, but that's not typical. Most of the girls are diagnosed later in age. I myself was lucky. I was diagnosed when I was 5, and that was because my parents fought with my doctors and are like, she's not growing very tall, and brought my younger sister, who is 3 years younger with me, to my doctor's appointment. They saw that we were almost the same height, even though we were 3 years apart, and are like, okay, yeah, there's something wrong.
So your sister doesn't have Turner syndrome?
No, it's like Rosemary said, it's non-inherited. It randomly occurs.
But I imagine there's some support organizations out there for people with Turner syndrome. Rosemary, are there groups out there to help?
On behalf of the board of the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States, the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States was created in 1987 by a group of women in Minnesota for the purpose of networking and support. Today, the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States has over 600 members and over 100 volunteers who support and maintain its valuable programs. Locally, we, the Northern California Turner Syndrome Resource Group, which was founded in 1989 by myself, has the Bay Area Turner Syndrome Society, is an affiliated resource group of the Turner Syndrome Society in the United States, and serves at the present time the entire state of California. We are trying to find someone down in Southern California to take that area up. Both of these groups provide support to those girls, women, and their families who have been touched by Turner syndrome.
So what are some of the ways that the organization provides support?
They provide a way to network for both physicians, patients, and family members, because there are members of the organization who are parents who have lost a child due to Turner syndrome, because the women in the United States, the 70,000 that Rosemary quoted earlier, those are the women and girls who survived birth.
Okay.
A lot of the women and girls who would have been diagnosed with Turner syndrome were miscarried.
Okay, because I was going to ask if it's a terminal once you're diagnosed. Is this terminal or
it's not terminal in the sense of like cancer or AIDS. It's just that in some cases, the way that the chromosomes went, it just wasn't able for the baby to be viable.
Okay, so most of the deaths occur in utero?
Correct.
Did you want to add something to that, Rosemary?
Basically what I was going to say is that it all depends on how the baby is forming. If someone was to be born with a chromosomal abnormality, this is the most mildest one of any chromosomal abnormality out there.
How hard is it to diagnose when a woman is pregnant that her baby may have Turner syndrome?
It's not that difficult. I worked in the medical field, so I know that when you do a blood test, they can separate the mother's blood from the blood of the infant that's gotten mixed. So there's the blood test, there's amniocentesis, chronic villus sampling, where they would insert a needle into the uterus to take sample of the amniotic fluid or wherever they get the cell from to test it. That's how they would do it prior to birth. After birth, the Turner syndrome is diagnosed through what's called a karyotype. Take a blood sample from the child and they basically map out the chromosomes. They lay them out. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the chromosomes, and it shows how the chromosomes are formed. Normally a chromosome looks like an X. In Turner syndrome, the 23rd pair, the sex chromosomes that determine whether we're male or female, one of those X's is either missing or deformed.
Now, by coming in and calling today, I know you ladies are trying to raise attention, and one of the ways that is great to do that is to have public events. Do you guys have events that are coming up to educate people?
On February 4th, from 9 a.m., which is registration time, until noon or 1 p.m. in Sacramento, we are going to be having our 4th annual Chasing Butterflies, a walk for Turner syndrome awareness. And we are hoping to not only have awareness through the radio station, but also get more media attention through other news outlets.
So what happens at the event?
In fact, I just found out about an hour ago, we have approximately 100 registered already. Deb Rios from the Society in Houston has sent out the box. What we do is we'll get up and we'll start the ceremony with our master ceremonies, Brandy Greening. Then we have a few various speakers. Like this year, I have brought up from Los Angeles Dr. Mitchell Geffner, who is the Howard C. Robbins Chair there of the Diabetes Clinic and the Endocrine Clinic there at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Wonderful man. He's come up for the weekend. Will speak in front of us. We do walk about 1.5 miles somewhere. We'll walk down from Southside Park, we'll walk down towards the Capitol. I think it's going to be around the Capitol and back up to Southside Park. Just hopefully it's not raining, everyone.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Now, you talked about registration. What's the fee and what does it include?
For children under the age of 6, registration's free. And for ages 6 on up, depending on the age, from 6 to 17, it's anywhere from $10 to $15, depending on if you want to get a shirt or not. And for adults, it's going to be $15 to $25, depending on if you want to get a shirt or not.
Okay, before I get into what the money goes towards, Rosemary, are there opportunities for sponsorships?
Yes. People can develop their own team. What we have done is, like Jacqueline and I have developed a fundraising site, and I posted it on Facebook. And what they can do is you could go into that site, read a little story that Jacqueline and myself have created. You click on donate, the amount that you wish to donate, and then that goes directly towards what you have accomplished in bringing in towards the fundraising. And the funds that are derived from these walks goes directly to the society and is designated specifically for research. At the present time, they're basically trying to find out why we are hit so, at times, hard with the heart issues and things like that. It just goes directly right to the society and automatically designated towards research.
Okay. Now, Jacqueline, you've got your platform to get people involved. How can the public help you?
Well, one thing they can do is they can donate, like Rosemary said. If they are listening, they can look up more information, speak with their doctors, get more doctors knowledgeable about this genetic disorder, because there are a lot of medical books that are still out there which have information that is 30 and 40 years old. We want to make sure that everybody gets the most up-to-date information. And we want to help any future women and girls with Turner syndrome get diagnosed earlier and earlier. So it's not taking 10, 15 years for someone to get diagnosed.
Jacqueline is correct on that because I was almost 18.
Oh, were you really? Before you were diagnosed?
Yes, sir. Because I'm 55. I turned 55 December 1st. So back in that era, a lot of doctors, of course, 99.9% of the doctors either were not educated on Turner syndrome or were not aware of it, for whatever the case may be. So I was actually diagnosed by the U.S. Air Force in about June 1979. My dad was a retired lieutenant commander. So my mom, at that point in time, we could still use Champus or the military. So she took me up there, and it took about a month to get back the results, and that's when they told me. But I didn't, I was like a normal kid. I did everything normal. They didn't know anything. So that's when I found out. I've had a lot of parents I've been doing this since 1989, and I've seen a lot of parents that have come in with their youngsters. They've seen adult woman with Turners. In fact, I've got a dear family in the East Bay in Hercules, and they just love me to death because they thought when that mother seen me, her daughter was 2 years old, and I was probably like 27 at the time. She says, my daughter is going to be okay. Because it took them, they worried. They worry what the type of life their daughter is going to have. And then it took me to in other words, for them to see an adult and they'd realize they're going to be okay. They're going to have a normal life. They're going to do things normal and like that.
So is things better today for people with Turner syndrome?
I think in a way it is because there's more awareness about bullying and about genetic disorders because of all the stuff about people bringing up autism and other genetic disorders like Down syndrome and stuff. So people are aware that it exists. So there's not a lot of, I would say, bullying or anything from kids, I think, as long as people are in the know. I've known Rosemary since 1989. I was one of the first members when the when the local group did. And, of course, Rosemary's chuckling.
I don't mean to interject, but got up on the chair at my meeting that I was holding in Oakland at 6 and started telling everybody about herself.
Yep.
Was the disease initially called Turner syndrome, or was it named something else?
It's always been named Turner syndrome. It's named after Dr. Henry Turner.
Yeah, it was 1938. He was studying several women who had similar characteristics: the short stature, the pigmented nevi, and other physical characteristics, arms turning out at the elbows slightly. So it was he wrote a paper, and they determined that it would be called Turner syndrome. Another name for it is called gonadal dysgenesis and also Turner-Ulrich syndrome.
Rosemary, let us know. You're having this event on this day. What do you hope this proclamation is going to do?
I hope that it brings awareness to the local community, and having in Sacramento, which we've held it every year for the past this will be our 4th year, I want to bring some awareness to the state legislature and the community also.
We've been trying to get Governor Brown to sign a proclamation in the state of California declaring February Turner Syndrome Awareness Month, and we've been declined 3 times by the governor's office.
I'm finding it extremely hard to get a proclamation from the state.
And there are 20 other states that have declared Turner Syndrome Awareness Month.
Now, do you guys know how many people are affected here in California with Turner syndrome?
Not offhand in California, but there's approximately 700,000 across the nation. It is like I said earlier, it's 1 in 2,000 live female births. I have, between Southern California and Northern and Central California, I have over 600 on my database.
So if people want to get more information on Turner syndrome and on your events, and from what I understand, you've got another event in the works too.
Yeah, it's in the works. It's going to be what I call our TS Patient Family Education Day. The second one at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, I'm not sure the date yet. It should be, I think it's the last Saturday in October. We held it there on this past September 24th, and I just about had to be carried out in truck because I had about 150 people there.
Oh, wow. That's some good support.
Yes, they came and listened to Dr. Mitchell Geffner, who's coming up here, and Dr. Brian Miyazaki, John Detterich, Catherine Karimoff, and Misty Harrison, who's the other board member in here in California. She's the parent at large member, so I was just totally shocked. I didn't even have enough room down there. And this year we are going to move upstairs. I've acquired the larger conference room. I'm trying to see right now if I can find somebody to take that area down there and start up a resource group again. There's a tremendous need for it.
How has the event progressed over the years? This is your fourth. Is it getting bigger? Do you see an increase in the people that are coming out?
What do you think, Jacqueline?
I think there is an increase, especially after last year when we were put on Good Day Sacramento, KCRA 3, Fox 40, and CBS 13.
Oh, my God, the little dynamo. She had everybody there.
I think there will be more people that are interested in it. I've made it a point to input the information for the walk in the Sacramento Bee and the Modesto Bee events page online. So you can also go to either one of those pages in the area to get the links and to see the times for that day.
Again, it's the fourth annual Chasing Butterflies, a walk for Turner Syndrome awareness being held in Sacramento on February 4th. It's going to be at Southside Park, 2115 6th Street, again in Sacramento. Now, if people want to get more information and find out all about the registration, I assume they can register online also?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Where do they go?
Is go on through turnersyndrome.org, and on the main page there, the homepage of the Turner Syndrome Society, and it's also a great site to click on, and you'll click at the top that says resources, and then you can read all about Turner Syndrome and become more aware of it and more knowledgeable. But down further, you'll see like a little events calendar. You can click on that, and it has every scheduled event at the present time. And you'll go down, find February 4th, and you'll see our walk in California. You can click on that, and it will bring you up to where you can register.
Okay. What about Facebook?
Oh, yes. They can also go. What is the exact name of that? It's the Sacramento Chasing Butterflies Walk, correct?
If you want to, if you just look up the Chasing Butterflies event for events in the area on your Facebook, it is listed there.
Okay, and they can follow other people that may be dealing with it, and okay.
Yep, and they can get all the link. We have all the links on that webpage as well.
Okay, before I let you ladies go, anything that you want to mention that we didn't talk about or you want to reiterate?
I just want to say on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States, thank you for giving the Northern California Turner Syndrome Resource Group this spot on your radio, and I appreciate it on behalf of all of the board members, and we look forward to working with you next year.
Beautiful. Good luck on your event. Jacqueline, anything you'd like to say?
Nope. I reiterate what Rosemary said. We appreciate the opportunity that you gave us today.
Beautiful. Ladies, you're doing an amazing thing. Good luck with your event, and maybe we'll have you back on to talk about your event in October.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.